Is it live? Is it live? Is it
From the original Walk-Ons, Burbank at Nicholson. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handegriff, Jimmy Odd. Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. We're getting you ready for the Final Four. Colucci, Humans, and Kenny White, all from Las Vegas today. We're getting you ready for a terrific LSU baseball game tonight, a terrific pitching matchup in
one of those games,
Norman, Oklahoma. Yeah, it really is. This is the top two pitching prospects, according to MLB.com. You get different opinions.
Where's Anderson projected?
Anderson was projected at 43.
Okay.
And the pitcher for Oklahoma tonight, Kyson Witherspoon, is ranked 28th in Major League Baseball's. This was preseason now, okay? Like I said, these ratings fluctuate a little bit during the year. But earlier this week, D1 Baseball, it's Kendall Rogers and those guys who I like an awful lot. They did their midseason team, and Kyle Anderson was a first-team all-conference, but Witherspoon was their halfway season National Pitcher of the Year. So he's off to a terrific start. Lost one game against Mississippi State, but
so he got a no decision against Alabama last weekend.
Yeah, he's 5-1 on the season. The conference the ERAs total are terrific. The conference ERAs, each of them had one game where they gave up a little bit of damage. So Witherspoon's conference ERA in 16 innings pitched is 3.93. Anderson's is 5.39. That's both of them with 16 innings pitched. So I think 16 and 2/3 for Anderson. But they're both based off of one rocky outing. Every other outing for both of them has been very good. So this is a terrific matchup on paper. Again, if you go by MLB's rankings, preseason rankings as far as draft prospects, these are the top two pitchers in the Southeastern Conference. Oklahoma also has the number one saves guy in the league with 9 saves. Dylan Crooks, has 9 saves, and I would say that LSU has. I would put Evans and Cowan as probably between 2 and 5 or 6. So I would say, just based on what I've seen, I hadn't seen everybody yet, and based on the numbers, I would say these are 3 of the top, half dozen bullpen arms in the SEC.
And that's great. But, Charlie, I could tell you what, it's kind of the key is, because I watched a lot of the Oklahoma-Alabama series last weekend, and you got to get to the guys in between. And
that's LSU too.
Okay.
That's LSU too.
It's not how many teams do have deep bullpens in college baseball.
Can I say something on that? I heard a national announcer say that. Well, once you get past 6 or 7, I don't know how good LSU's pitching is, and I'm like, dude, I've seen LSU win. I've seen LSU win national championships with 2.5 pitchers. So I mean, tell me when. There's 7 flags flying outside that stadium across the street. Not a single one of them teams had 8 to 10 pitchers that were, top notch. Okay. College staffs just don't have that many top guys. So, you give me 5 or 6 and that's plenty.
You kind of in a little bit of this funk right now. You paying attention to too many people, just their opinions.
I do listen.
You've been letting that.
If Max were here, he would say, "You're not trusting your you're
not committed to your
you're
shot.
not committed to your swing.
Your club.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to be more committed to my opinion.
Yeah.
I know what
Charlie,
good pitching looks like over there.
You have done your time.
Yeah.
As, so they listen. But seriously, it was once they got into sort of the middle relief or the extended relief, it was lead change after lead change. Teams trading threats and runs, and the only thing was they kind of ran themselves out of innings. That was my overall, and I told you this before we came on the air today. I couldn't believe when you told me Oklahoma was in the top 10, because in Alabama, I think, is in the top 10.
Yes.
That's just not that was not a level of baseball that I'm used to watching when we watch LSU, and in like the Floridas, the Tennessees, and stuff like that. So it surprises me a little bit, but if you go straight from that starter to the closer, well, you got to do. So, how important is it to LSU's lineup? They take the early era Bertman approach. and that is extend the at bats.
Yeah.
Get that pitch count out. Good. Let's get to those guys in between the star closer the star starter and the star closer.
That'll be the MO for both of these teams, and neither one of these guys. And that's the biggest thing that I've seen. And I'm going to take Skeens out of the equation for a minute because he's an outlier.
Yes,
you just
I'd
don't
say
see as many guys, frontline starters, getting as deep into games as you did even just a few years ago. Okay, and again, take Skeens out of the equation. Both of these guys are 5-inning guys. Okay, they've gotten into the 6, but they're 5-inning guys.
Okay.
It's 16 innings through 3 starts. Okay,
Okay.
good as, and these are the top of the line guys. Yeah.
So everybody's bullpen is getting strained. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah. Even as Aaron Nola was an 8-inning guy. He got you into the 8th inning more times than not. Alex Lang, we're talking about 2017 now. He got you into the 7th or 8th inning. Anderson gets you to the 6th. Okay. And for for most of these teams, if you can get a guy that gets you into the, Witherspoon is a first-round guy. If he gets you into the 6th, that's about what you can.
Are they both like a lot of swing and miss guys, pitchers? I mean, where they getting deep into the counts? Strikeout pitchers tend to last fewer innings because
Witherspoon's got 64 strikeouts in 39 innings. Yes, very much a.
And Anderson.
Not quite as many strikeouts, but similar. Where's his number here? It's close.
You follow this team?
I do. I just don't.
He is the ace.
It's a lot of numbers to keep in mind.
He's the ace, dude. Come on. I'm not asking for the 7th guy on the bullpen.
I understand. I didn't. It's the one stat I didn't write down, man.
Well, if you isn't that natural? If you look at this when these guys are not lasting as much as your typical top 2 starters in the SEC.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, the wind is going to be blowing in 61 strikeouts in 38 innings. So they're basically 64 to 39, 61 to 38. That's pretty close. The wind is going to be blowing in, Max tells me, our resident weatherman in Norman tonight. So
sure. He had that wind wrong yesterday in Lafayette.
I think he had the
when
wind.
It's blowing out, that's the over, Max.
Yeah. did he have the wind wrong, or was the pitching just terrible?
Well, it's midweek pitching.
It is. We were watching that. I was watching a little bit of that Rice game yesterday. Remember when Rice used to be good? They no longer are.
I was watching a little bit of it last night. How about that? I said that they flashed a record. I'm like, ooh, like 9-15 or something.
Yeah. Well, they did something that I've never seen done before. They fired their coach, Jose Cruz Jr., okay, we know very well. I think it was 12 games into the season, and they brought David Pearson, the former Texas and Tulane coach, in like week 5, I believe it was, to coach the team the rest of the season. They were like, well, we want you to be the coach next year. He's like, I'll do it now.
David Pierce was available?
Yeah.
You got to take him.
They did.
Sorry.
They did.
Sorry, we love you. You were a great player for our program, Jose, but no, we gotta. I can't believe he's available.
Yeah. So I've never seen them take I guess Jim Moore Jr. went in UConn, but that was in November for football. Remember, he was sitting out the season, and he took over with like 2 weeks left in the regular season. But I don't remember him going on the sideline.
No. He was named.
Pierce is in the dugout.
What it did was it gave him a big jump start because it was they were dead last in Division I at UConn. But they got him to a bowl game the next year.
Yeah,
I mean they so his roster was much improved. So I mean that's part of it too. It's a little bit different in baseball right now. But hey, secure him while you can, because if David Pierce is on the market, he's getting a way better job than Rice this offseason.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Well, they fired him at Texas, and he was kind of hanging out for a year. He was on the staff at Texas State, just kind of the coaches spend a year. I'll figure out what I'm going to do, and he was on the staff there, and they're like, yeah, come over and be the head coach. And so he is, but he inherited a mess. Anyway, this LSU Oklahoma game, this series, LSU's first trip up to Oklahoma, up to Norman. I'm expecting something, although it's a small ballpark, but I'm expecting some atmosphere similar to what you had at Texas. Not as big. It's not anywhere close to Dish Falk. In fact, the new softball field that they've built over there, it's a little bit bigger than the baseball field capacity-wise, but they've got
that crazy.
they got the best softball program in the country. So, great pitching matchup. and looking forward to a 6:00 start tonight.
Toss
from
up?
Norman. Yeah, I think this is that's the other thing. I'm sorry. The line here is out of whack. Okay, what we saw half hour ago, which is that LSU is a significant favorite. And I'm not telling you LSU is not going to win the game, but this is an indication, if you bet college baseball at all, on reputation. You look at these two teams, what they've done record-wise, strength of schedule-wise, pitching matchup-wise. This is a toss-up. Even give Oklahoma just a slight little edge because they're at home, okay? Oklahoma's anywhere from plus 150 to plus 175. They should probably be minus 110, in my opinion.
Well, it's it's not the first time that a public team, a team that's got the branding.
Right.
I mean, there's no comparison.
Nor does it mean I think LSU is going to necessarily lose again. I'm just telling you that the line is out of whack, like it was last week for Game 2. Mississippi State's throwing their ace. LSU's throwing their 2. LSU should not have been as big a favorite. Now they ended up winning the game 2-1.
95. Oklahoma beat Georgia Tech in a championship game.
94.
94.
94.
No, you got that right.
Yeah.
All right.
I see.
All right, little guy.
My wife wants to know why I can't remember to take out the trash on Thursdays.
You don't care about the trash.
She goes, you can remember stats from the 1960s before you were born, and you can't remember to take out the trash on Thursday. Guilty. I can remember the 94
crawfish season is on over here at Walk-Ons. On-site and off-site private crawfish boils available. Contact my boy Dustin at 888-3566. 888-3566. Or you can email us at events@walkons.com. How about our new menu items? Yes, indeed. The ribeye sliders, sliced ribeye topped with Swiss cheese, caramelized onions, Dijon horseradish, and garlic aioli. Did you see my exchange with Nando before the show?
I heard it. Yeah.
The handful of new menu items. How did I score?
100%.
I'm low on self-esteem right now, Charlie. Give me a little, throw me some flowers.
100%. It was good.
Pepper jack boudin balls, and it does give a nice little kick, huh?
Yes.
Those are good.
Love them.
Not a big boudin ball. I like these. These are really good. Cajun seasoned pork with the rice with the pepper jack cheese. We also got we got a Havarti turkey burger, caramelized onions, Havarti cheese, pepper jelly spring mix, garlic aioli, tomato on a wheat bun. We're doing a warm turkey melt. That's Brandon. Brandon's highly endorsed warm turkey melt. I had that as well. You talk about good sliced turkey, the melted Havarti cheese, sriracha aioli, lettuce, tomato on a wheat bun, and the salmon. The salmon is one of our new. Where I got to find it on here. Here it is. The damn it, I can't find it on the menu. I know it's here because I had it. Charlie,
just tell them about it.
It's good. It's glazed. Don't get it overcooked because it dries out. But it's called the Mardi Gras salmon. There it is. Hot honey glazed grilled salmon topped with the mango salsa and served with broccoli. That's our Walk-On's new additions to our menu here. And it's always the place to and from Alec Box Stadium, softball stadium, tennis right down the street. You're always going to have games on MLB, college baseball. We got golf on right now. We got a couple of day baseball games. Boston and your boy Bregman with a big 5 around the horn double play, 5-4-3 to get out of the 8th inning and to preserve that 3-0 win. I was thinking about our conversation yesterday when he turned that. I'm not sure Raphael could do that. He did have 2 hits last night as well. And the Dodgers down 5-0. Go ahead, Outerlocks. We're not 4-1. We're 10-1 the last 2 days.
Best start for a defending champion since the 20s or something.
I mean, it's World Series champion.
But the Dodgers are good. This just in.
Muncy used the torpedo bat. The first 3 at bats, he was in a slide. 0-for-3. Went back to his old bat. 2 out. 2-run double to tie the game. And my buddy Henry Hayes, I was texting him at the time. He said, "Watch Shohei go out." I was like, they're not going to pitch to him. Boop. Thanks for shopping. See ya.
Have you seen our friend Kurt Ainsworth with the talking about the torpedo bats?
No, but I was curious. I hadn't had a chance to talk to the Marucci guys.
He's been on every show but The View talking about the torpedo bats this week.
I'm sure they're doing them as quick as they can.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty popular right now. Live at the original Walk-Ons. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino. Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steak, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Dozy Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, fillet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson, Edward Jones, member SIPC.
College football talk all year long on the Chuck Oliver Show, weeknights at 6 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walkons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Today's show also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff. Man, look, when you're hurting, you can't get around, man. You're maybe not sleeping as well as you want to. Let them help you out. They've certainly done it for members of my family and myself as well. You need an adjustment, or you just need,
family has right too. Why rush things? Richardson could have helped himself. I mean, we don't know if he'll ever, but he would have benefited from another year starting in Florida. No
Absolutely.
doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know his family's financial situation to where, and I'm going to be a top 10 pick. I don't know if I'm going to be a top 10 pick next year. So part of that, but he's got all the measurables, but he would have, and Bo Nix is no good, but he started 50, so he's serviceable right now. We don't know if he'll be that much better. He's in a great situation where they got a good defense. He's got a good a coach that's going to put him in good positions.
I wouldn't say he's no good. He's way better than I thought.
Charlie, had he gone to Carolina, where would he be right now?
He'd be
had he gone to Chicago,
flat on
had
his
he gone
back,
to
but
the
he's
Jets,
not.
had he gone to the Jets, had he gone to, I don't know how good he is. He's in a great situation, so that's going to help him
That's
out.
all we can judge it on. I mean, where would Brock Purdy be if he were somewhere else?
Not even starting.
I wouldn't go that far, but he certainly wouldn't be about to cash in on his
We're
contract.
about to see.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Right.
we're about to see because that supporting cast is, and I think it's going to be a little rough with him. I mean, he makes plays, he gets rid of the ball, he throws the ball in rhythm, but he also throws the ball into coverage. It's kind of a gunslinger. And when you don't have all those guys, a physical running game, I mean, he's had everything. I like Purdy, and Purdy was such an upgrade from what they had before, like Jimmy G, and the others.
Yeah, you can never count on Garoppolo to stay in the lineup. I mean, when he
No,
played, he was okay.
even in the lineup, not even close.
Well, they got to a Super Bowl with him quarterback, and he
Charlie.
wasn't that bad. When he played, he wasn't that bad.
I move on. Go move on.
He wasn't that bad.
Dude, do you watch the games? You gonna tell me Purdy was not a significant upgrade from Jimmy G healthy?
That's not what I said. I said that
they got to a Super Bowl with him, so he must have been really good.
Well, I didn't say he was really good. I said he wasn't that terrible, and Purdy was an upgrade.
Jimmy G was below average, bro.
At one point, he was the highest paid player in the league.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Did I think he was great? No, I did. Anyway, what do you think of Joe Milton? That's where we started with.
He
this.
sucks.
Okay.
He's got all the measurables in the world. He is a measurable guy, right? When were we talking about measurable guys yesterday? Combine guys?
Very strong
size, huh?
Very strong. Yeah, he's a huge guy.
Size.
Man.
I mean, a cannon.
Very strong.
Zero touch. Zero feel.
Yep.
Zero. He came in and boom, that was done. When was it Hooker that came in? I think they were losing the Pitt game.
Yeah, it was very early in the season.
I think that was
game one or game two.
Yep. The Pitt game, and they stormed back, and he's never. Guy can't play quarterback. That's fine. He can throw it. What he had Michigan to played Minnesota, and they were ready to anoint him.
Enough people around the league like what they saw of him in the joint practices and I guess a couple of preseason games that he had some value. Dallas is taking a shot here. Do I think it's going to work? Probably not, but I'm interested because ordinarily backup quarterbacks like this that have never started, they don't get traded. They just kind of sit on a roster if you've never started a game, usually, especially somebody that wasn't a high pick. So they're taking a shot.
Oh, this is a nothing deal. I mean, I don't even know why we're talking about it. I mean, Joe Milton can't play. He's not going to play. They didn't give up a whole lot for him.
They did.
I mean, what do they see in him? They see his size and they see his arm strength. I can tell you what they see.
I brought it up so you could give Max grief about Trey Lance. That was really what I was going to before you just crapped on every quarterback in the league.
Is that Max's worst swing?
No. Well,
Max.
Look, it kind of goes to remind you.
Your boy Staley was your worst swing.
Well, I got off that bandwagon pretty quickly, frankly.
Ritter?
But yes, I was wrong on him. Desmond, I didn't think he was great. I just said he was competent, which I'm not ready to give up on that yet.
I am.
Look, kiss my. I'm not. No. Let me jog your memory. Okay,
I'm out on.
I love Trey Lance. I love Trey Lance.
No, I did
multiple times.
No, Trey Lance, I'm still not ready to give up yet.
I mean,
look, he got a rough shake. COVID happened in his college career.
That hurts.
That hurt.
It didn't help.
Injuries didn't help. And then next thing you know, he's second or third string on an NFL team. You're not getting real reps at that point in practice. So,
and don't forget that bad weather at Soldier Field. That was a bad break too, right?
Terrible breaks. He would have been the best quarterback of all time, but just things didn't work out right for him.
You know who's probably worse, but it's in his blood. Most professional broadcasters don't let their emotions get in their way. but you know who I'm about to say. One of the most respected handicappers we have on this program or on Sunday, Randy McKay. He loves the Bison. He loves them. So I mean, he's always been pulling for him and stuff like that. But no,
worth mentioning, Jimmy. Cam Ward was going to go to the draft a year ago, and the NFL people told him go back to school.
Yep.
He told Cristobal he was going to the draft.
You don't think that helped him? I mean, play reps. There's no doubt. In Lance, that's the thing. Well, he'll get reps in Canada. It's a different game, but maybe we've seen guys have success there and come over to the NFL as well. Of course, Warren Moon, the biggest situation there. Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional service is what you get when you call 296-0060. Ashley Bonham Donald, Mariana Broussard Haynes, Adrian Reese Galata, Michael Platt, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060. Colucci time when we come back live at lunch, live at Walkons, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the waistcoat troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
It's time. It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Colucci, what's going on, baby?
Jimmy Ott, what's going on, my brother? It's Final Four weekend. Everything's going good. Ready for some big prep races. Next week, I guess, at Keeneland because they canceled the whole weekend already.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
In that area. Yeah. How's the weather over there? I mean,
windy.
We're a little colder than we were. Right, yeah, that's how Vegas is, but very clear. And, hopefully those people survive in that part of the country. These hurricanes and tornadoes and the rain, it's just debilitating. I feel bad for those people in Lexington, Kentucky.
Yeah, hey, what's your biggest takeaway from the Arkansas and Florida derbies last week?
Nothing.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I think Sovereignty really looked good still. You got to take into consideration Junior Alvarado was not riding the horse. Cabot Street looked really good, don't get me wrong. But the Arkansas Derby, I think, Sandman just was able to pick up the pieces after a rapid, torrid pace in that race. So, Sandman was short in his other few races. He had finished second and third, had a troubled trip, and then in the Rebel, he was on the Arkansas basically trail. And all of a sudden now he popped in, and he was a little erratic in the stretch, but Jose Ortiz straightened about. He's definitely a player. Mark Cassie knows what to do with that horse. But I think Sovereignty at all those races really looked good. And I'll be honest with you, I think that the Kentucky Derby win will probably come from either Santa Anita this weekend or maybe even the Wood. I think, Richard Dutrow has his deck stacked with Captain Cook, and I think he definitely has a massive chance just because of the fact he likes that 1.8 mile distance, Jimmy. It's so important that you get 1.25 miles for the Kentucky Derby, and this horse already showed that he loves 1.8 miles. So, I kind of think that he definitely has an edge over Rodriguez, the Baffert runner in this upcoming Wood at Aqueduct this weekend.
Charlie, to fill you in, we've been to Lexington and Keeneland, and Keeneland's fall meet was supposed to start this Friday. I'm sorry, spring meet, and the Bluegrass was scheduled for they moved it. They canceled Friday and Saturday and moved it to Sunday and Monday, or Monday and Tuesday. Dwayne.
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, Monday and Tuesday. That's what is going on right now.
It's funny. So your crowd will be compromised in most places. That place. I mean,
I have to change. I have to change. My staffing level for Monday and Tuesday. Definitely we have tons of horse players at the Rampart. That we're one of the biggest horse players in Las Vegas.
But I'm telling, at the track itself in Lexington, it's in their blood. There's so many. I mean, we sit at the Commonwealth Stadium. We're in the press box. LSU's playing Kentucky. I think it's like a 6:00 p.m. start, kickoff. And, it's kind of a late arriving crowd because they're waiting till the last race gets over at Keeneland. And about, 5 minutes into the game, you see all the lights and all the traffic coming in to Commonwealth Stadium because they're watching the horses first before they go check out the football game.
I was told before I went, get your ticket in advance because
for Keeneland,
yes. If you think you're just going to walk up and buy a ticket, maybe not.
You would have loved. This would have been a good trip for you too, Dwayne. You could have. We're set up next to the Winner's Circle, our radio broadcast show, right next to the TVG guys. Todd Schrupp came on with us. He was really nice. It was good, man. It was cool. So I mean, you could have jumped the fence and put, taken a bugle, man. You could have blown the horn, Oh,
I would have been there. I would have definitely, I would have flew out for that experience. Sit between Jimmy and Charlie and Todd Schrupp coming over and, gorgeous Brittany Erton. Forget about it.
Brittany Erton, yeah, she loves the pamplemousse. She does. So seen her over there a bunch. Hey, Dwayne, man, listen, the last favorite to lose outright in March Madness was a couple of Sundays ago, and that was Ole Miss against Iowa State. these money line parlays, how old are they getting? What's hurting you the worst? The money line parlays in March Madness or the Dodgers?
Well, the Dodgers are such a focal point. They're on every single parlay. And the OKC Thunder, every single night. They broke the NBA record, 50 games of winning by 10 points or more. So OKC last night, that cover was incredible. They've been a thorn in our side. You've had all these favorites, like you said, throughout the tournament. Duke is a massive thorn in our side. Maybe there could be an upset here, but is it really an upset if Auburn beats Florida? I think Auburn's the better team, barring the injury. You know, if you're playing without injury.
Right.
I thought Auburn was the better team. Houston is definitely a tough out for Duke because they play such fabulous defense. But it's just been favorites, plethora of favorites. The NBA has been repetition. The Dodgers are monsters. I mean, how is this team going to lose? They could fall behind. They're the only team I've ever seen in the last 25 years that could fall behind by 5 to 6 runs, and they come right back and win the game. This is phenomenal. The Dodgers are going to be a tough out. Like we discussed, you're going to see some 4 and 5 for 1s this year. I think we were talking about that a few weeks ago, and that's going to be off the charts. The run lines are probably going to be 2.5 when you start to play the teams like Miami and, the Cubs, etc. But it's just going to be so difficult for us bookmakers. And this tournament, the first couple of days were great, but after that, it's been definitely a slow decline. We're trying and feed off of some of these other baseball upsets. NHL, Vegas Golden Knights have been on fire. So you look at it from all angles, and the only time they lose is to Edmonton, the other team that everybody bets on. It's been a tough go, but, nobody wants to hear a bookmaker cry. That's why I always have, delight in my voice. Tomorrow's another day. We have a superior betting menu, so we could always make it up. But it's been difficult, guys. I'll be honest. Even from the NFL playoffs all down the line, it's been a tough go this year.
Charlie, let me ask you. Let me ask Charlie. If Broom is completely healthy, what is the line? What do you think it would have been? Pick 'em?
I'll pick it.
We're on the same page there. Florida went through the SEC tournament, but Florida hasn't been as good as Auburn in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament. Florida's 1-3 against the spread, Auburn with 2 scares. Real scares, and Auburn's 3-1. The only game they didn't cover was against Alabama State.
True,
by 20.
But you do have that decisive victory in Auburn that Florida still got. That's still in people's heads. I think that factors in a little bit there.
I like that. I like that. Just the other side, because I think Auburn has a little extra. Revenge. Everybody's ready to play right now. But I also saw the big stage, and I saw a much more panicky coach and coaching staff in the Florida Texas Tech game than I've seen at any point with Bruce Pearl. I know Bruce Pearl's never won it, but he's been here before. He's got a lot more. He's
consummate professional.
I mean, it's mentor against pupil. I mean, Golden worked for Pearl, at one point. So, so Dwayne, are you writing like last night? Did anybody bet the Braves?
No.
See,
if they do, they take a plus 1.5. I mean, that's how it goes. Everybody fears to start the lineup. You thought there could have been some upset chances with Mookie Betts coming into he's supposedly the stick, but this guy's swinging a stick harder than anybody other than maybe Aaron Judge in baseball. So, it's very difficult now. Thank God we get a break tonight. There's no Dodger baseball. Yankees are back on the docket, and, Arizona showed that they could beat them. It's not like Milwaukee. So the Yankees are definitely going to be a money train as well. But, against the Dodgers, it's so difficult, especially where we are located in the United States.
Right. You're in Dodgers country. You're 4-hour, drive away. I mean, it's always in Laker country. It's always been, Laker and Dodger heavy type of betting and heavily supported because of their success as well in proximity. But give us a peek behind the curtain. Do you guys have these sort of meetings with Jimmy and Chris? And they say, because the goal when you set a line is to draw equal value. Well, you can't. How are they not pushing these lines up further and further to where you finally get a little bit of action on the other side?
Well, what we're doing is, the first week, it's kind of, touch and go. We're hoping that the Dodgers could lose a game here and there, but it's not happening. I mean, that's the whole problem. It's just, I don't understand how easy it has become for these teams for the Dodgers, I should say, to just crush on a nightly basis. And you're playing a quality team in the Atlanta Braves. So, yeah, we discuss it, and it's definitely going to come into play as we move the season on. We're definitely going to pump up the lines and pump them up even more. But you're playing the Atlanta Braves. I mean, the Braves are a decent team. You can't just go through the roof because then you're going to get hurt on the buyback.
Not right now. Not right now. They're not. I mean, I get the reputation, but right now they're awful.
Yeah. The Braves are.
Exactly.
And the other thing is Freeman was kind of a late scratch. He took the night off for the Dodgers. But I could tell you another one, too. I not only did it, I bet a lot of books got burned on the end game because they were down 5-0. I know at 5-2, you're getting plus 220, 230. I mean, you could take who's not going to bet the Dodgers in game?
You got to even watch that because you can't really get 230, 240 because in the first 3 games there they came back from behind.
Right.
Well, I should say the last 3 games. So you have to calculate that. They're a come from behind team. So they're not a team that puts the pedal to the metal and just blows you out from the sets to get-go. So you have to set the line in a different proximity, especially in game when you get to that 6th, 7th, 8th inning. The first 5, they've been behind, and definitely we've made a little money on that because we have had some takers on the first 5 innings. So we have won a little there, but not much. And then if you adjust it to 3-4 to 1, like you would in a normal baseball game, not the Dodgers, you're going to get crushed because they come from behind. They have that will and that incentive, and momentum gathers from the 5th inning on with this team. So, the first 5 has been kind to us with the Dodgers, but not as much as the games have hurt us.
Kaluch, 9 games on the ice tonight. Who you got?
Yeah, definitely a great NHL slate. Winnipeg has been playing terrible. I'm really looking for the Golden Knights to have a big game tonight. Well, minus 125 here at the Rampart in South Point.
Yep.
I think they definitely need to win this game. They want to keep pace. They want to stay up there, get home ice advantage in that first round. Winnipeg has just looked god-awful in the last few games. Maybe we could get a victory here. I'm liking the Knights. I mean, we discussed it last week. How do you bet against the Blues? I think we ended up 2-1 last week because the Blues came back from a 2-1 deficit and won again. I think they won like 10, 11 straight now, 41-28. They've righted the ship. This is the hottest team in the NHL. I mean, you got to lay 230. They win a lot of games. So late. But, I mean, I wouldn't lay the puck line to 230 in this spot. So, I think the Blues are definitely they're a win machine right now, and they have to win games.
10 in a row right now. 10 in a row for the St. Louis Blues. Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a win streak that is at the NHL level, Jimmy. Think about that. It is so difficult to win 10 games because you're constantly going back and forth, home and road. Those extensive road trips are early on in the season, so this team is really playing at a high level. Jordan Binnington, ever since that, Nations 4 tournament, he took Canada, put them on his back, and now he's taking the St. Louis Blues, putting them on his back, and he's done this before. He is a Stanley Cup winner. Keep that in mind. Ottawa Senators, they have to win games, but, when you see Tampa is 140 in Ottawa hasn't been playing at that high level like the Montreal Canadiens have stepped it up. You could sense that. Maybe Tampa Bay tonight, minus 140. I like those 3 games. I'm going to lay the 140 in Ottawa with Tampa. I'm going to lay the big number with St. Louis. And we're going to lay that slight number with the Vegas Golden Knights. Hate giving out those 3 favorites, but parlay them, round robin them. We'll see where we go from there.
Okay, so St. Louis strictly on the money line, nothing on the puck line, right?
I would actually take a shot with the Vegas Golden Knights tonight on the puck line because I feel they're going to be ahead, and then you get that empty net and the glory and the money starts to fall from the T-Mobile rafters. And I definitely think that the Knights are a play tonight. I'm going to be at that game, guys, so they better impress me. It's playoff time now. My Habs are rolling. Montreal is playing very well. Florida can't beat us right now. I'd love to get that KHL Rookie of the Century, Ivan Demidov, on this roster. Montreal could be
all right, Kaluch.
Lane Hudson, Rookie of the Year.
All right, plus 205. We appreciate it. We're out of time on the Golden Knights on the puck line. You're the best at NY Bookie. Thanks, Dwayne. Guys. Good stuff. We'll talk to you next week, Dwayne. All right,
definitely love you guys.
All right, don't forget our friends over at Relief Windows, doors, siding, and shutters. That's right. Relief Windows, trusted provider of premium windows, door siding, and interior shutters in Baton Rouge. We serve the neighboring states as well, the Gulf Coast. Quality window replacement, door installation, siding solutions for both existing homes and new construction products. Do like I did when I needed to replace my wood windows. Or if you like my neighborhood, your homeowners association requires wood windows facing the street, call my friends at Relief Windows, 288-8138. 288-8138 and reliefwindows.com.
Live from the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources, we'll help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in Laplace and Plaquemine.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his Blue Period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
A timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Valero Texas Open. Last chance for some of the players in this field to get into the Masters next week. Keith Mitchell is out on the lead. Notorious front runner, huh, Max? 7 under through 11 holes. Tommy Fleetwood, Tony Finau among those. A couple shots back, or 3 shots back at 4 under. Brian Harman at 6 under. In between them, it was a good start for Sam Burns. He had gotten, I think, as far as 4 under. He just bogeyed number 6, so he's at 2 under, still in the top 10. Chasing Keith Mitchell among others. Last chance, like we said, for some of these, not for Sam, but for some of these guys to get in the Masters. How much of this field, Max, do you think needs a win to get?
I
in the
would
Masters?
say 75%.
75%,
quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Need a win,
probably more than that,
to get into next week's Masters. Hour number 2 straight ahead. We got day baseball, and of course we're going to talk to Matt Humans about the Final Four that's coming up next here. Hour number 2, the original walk-ons, Burbank at Nicholson, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Head, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross Head exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino. Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salads, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend. Sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip.
Wait, what you mean? I'm still. Let me monitor because these are. I'm
flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian, in the heart of Mid-City.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon, presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic, is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and O.C. Brown.
These are repeat spots.
hold on. I'm trying to call humans.
I mean, is it? Go ahead. Just put it back to me. Call humans.
Local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson.
Okay, what you saying?
I'm trying to monitor the spots. Is this the last break of hour 1?
Yeah. So
okay.
It did the same thing yesterday. It just repeated the top ones at the top.
Right. That's got to get fixed, man. I mean, it's got to get fixed.
Truck Club, Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, a hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet, winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Doe's Eat Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941, just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side. Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 72323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Weekday mornings at 7 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
The original Walk-Ons here, Burbank at Nicholson. Perfect place for heading out for LSU baseball, LSU softball, anything on campus right here with new menu items here at the original Walk-Ons, the one that started it all.
Yes, indeed. So great stop before or after LSU baseball and softball games. Tennis down the street as well. We're on the Baltimore Orioles to bounce back from getting shut out last night. Man, the Ocean Springs native, Tennessee star, Crochet, he was on fire last night. So we expect the hot bats for the Orioles to heat back up again today against Tanner Houck. So slight number, -120 is available at Bet Rivers right now with the Baltimore Orioles. First pitch in about 3 to 4 minutes. Matt Humans from VEASAN joins us right now from Las Vegas. Matt, have you flipped to the favorites in these money line parlays like the rest of the betting public in March Madness?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I switched after the probably the first day, sometime in the middle of the second day or right there after the first couple of days of the tournament. That's most of the big betting wins I've had in the tournament have been money line parlays. I've got a bunch of them. So I had to survive a couple scares, like Houston almost getting beat by Purdue,
Right.
or Auburn was down to Michigan, Florida down to Texas Tech. But it's amazing how many favorites have come through, and that's been the way to win big on the tournament. So, yeah, I switched after the first couple of days.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of dead dogs. A bunch of dead dogs in that first round.
Yeah, I know, but I tried to. I like Tennessee. I was really, really surprised / disappointed. And well, I guess Houston played so well. We discussed Houston earlier. I could have put a line through them like I was scratching a horse looking at the form. And man, they've got a little bit more pop from those guards. And the thing about it is, it's not likely that all three will be off. I think it was in the Sweet 16 round. It was help me out. The Crier was off, and the kid from Oklahoma, the transfer from Las Vegas, he heated up, and then it was the other one. I forget their names. That heated up against Tennessee when Tennessee kind of got back a little bit within 10, but they do have some firepower, a little bit more. So what do you think? Can anybody beat Duke?
I think Duke can be beat. Duke's going to have to obviously be off a little bit, and maybe play its B- or C game, and somebody plays its A game, because Duke is a very young team. That's what a lot of people still forget. Now I know these guys are very, very talented, and on both ends of the floor, Duke looks incredible right now. This is the best defense I've seen a Duke team play, and I don't know how long, maybe ever. And on the offensive end of the floor, so efficient. We got so many scores. You think Duke looks like a team without a flaw. But again, John Shire's a coach who hasn't been this far before. A lot of these players have not been this far. Most of them have not. And going up against a very veteran team in Houston with a coach who has been there before. And so I think Houston's really going to make Duke sweat this one out. I've got – say, when you get to the Final Four, we've all got – most of us have futures that we got to consider in these bets one way or another. So I've got Florida 10-1, Duke 12-1. I was late to the party on Florida, but when I took the 10-1, I said better late than never, right? Because it's pretty obvious that Florida was going to make a deep run. So I Duke 12-1. I actually have a lot tied up in that. That's very important bet for me. So I am going to play Houston +5 or 5.5, I think, in that game. And it's not just a hedge. I really think the Cougars are going to make Duke sweat this out. Houston's won 17 in a row. A team that's lost one game in regulation all season. like you said, a veteran team going up against a young team. And a guy in Kelvin Sampson, like him or not, he's a hell of a coach. He's got a team that's physical and tough, and they're going to try to muck this game up against Duke and try to win something that's like 65-63, or something like that. I believe Duke wins the game. I certainly hope that way. But it's not going to surprise me. It's going to be a tough game for Duke to win.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of before they let pros in the Olympics. You see the United States Olympic team go play against these teams that were 5, 6, 7 years older than them. I know it's not quite that drastic, but that's what it feels like here. The Americans were usually the more talented team, almost always, but they were playing against teams that gave themselves a shot because they were so much older and they had played together. So that's what Duke Houston feels like a little bit to me. Duke's the more talented team, but Houston is not that far behind. And man, they are they look like grown men playing against at times teenagers, kids. I hate to call them kids, but grown men. They're grown men.
And that's why, Matt, I asked you your opinion on the kid, D-Dan Thomas, who is transferring to LSU. And I read your analysis of him, and he was offered by Houston. He doesn't fit. I mean, there ain't many people on Houston's roster over this 6-year run since Sampson's been there that look like that guy.
D-Don Thomas is a high character kid who plays hard, and he's going to be a good point guard for LSU. He's a pretty good one for UNLV. I don't think he fits Houston either, because Houston's typically has big guards, guys who are strong, physical, and D-Don Thomas not that type of player. So I'm a little bit surprised that Kelvin Sampson might have gone after him. I didn't know Houston was in on Thomas until you just mentioned it, because I think that would be an awkward fit. That's not aside from character, he's not physically not the type of player that Kelvin Sampson would into one.
Yeah, and give us your opinion about him again. I know I read it earlier, but what you say, because I mean you pay as close attention, play closer attention to anybody in the Mountain West Conference, and he's a local kid from Liberty High in Vegas.
Yeah, like I say, he's a really good kid. So from that perspective, he's not going to be somebody who lets the program down. He plays hard, and he's a good point guard. He really is, but a good ball handler, makes plays. A lot of times I think he's a little bit too selfish, and puts on dribbling exhibitions, trying to make plays for himself instead of teammates. He's not a great shooter. A lot of times he'll dribble into traffic into the lane and spin out and take a fadeaway jumper and take a tough shot because he's small. When you're going up against those bigger players, you got to find ways to get your shot off, and a lot of times he'll take fadeaway jumpers and things that have a high degree of difficulty. Now, I think a lot of us in Vegas had overrated D-Don Thomas a little bit, because it was UNLV teams that didn't have a lot of talent. He was the most talented player the last couple of years. And when he went down, a lot of people said, well, that's it. Season's over. So how about this? When Thomas went down, UNLV actually played really well. And the Rebels, I think, had won 5 or 6 games without him. And I watched the team play, and I said, man, I think most of us have overrated Thomas and his impact on the team, because he's a point guard and he's the most talented player. When he went out, the team played well without him. And I think part of that was I thought he was too selfish with the ball and always trying to make plays for himself. So he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be the transcendent type of point guard that's going to take the team to the next level. But like you said, you can't regret getting a player like that, because he's such a good kid and he's going to play hard and he's a good point guard. But I don't think he's a superstar. Let's put it that way.
Matt, God bless. The next level right now for LSU is 12th place. Okay, so can come there.
Hey, we're hanging a morality banner. So we're first. We're clean as can be. Boy,
not having watched him play a minute, he is going to upgrade the talent level. I know.
Hey, what's your thoughts on Beard turning down A&M?
I thought he should turn down A&M. By the way, as LSU got a few other guys, I said D-Don Thomas is nice, and Jimmy, that's what when I text you, I was going to say. Thomas is a nice addition. You're going to need 3 other guys.
That's exactly what Max was saying. Yeah, Max. Max he went out of his way to do some research. Max on the that's not the only piece you need.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, this guy is not a surefire. Even AJ Hogard, who I thought was a little bit underwhelming at Michigan State, like at least he brought you stability. Like they need more. They need more, and they need more players of this caliber, or maybe even better, for them to really be a tournament team next year.
I mean, and that's just some local media outlets or some LSU specialty outlets that are pumping the kid. Listen, and that's what I tried to tell them. It's not the first time that the specialty or local media overhypes a recruit or a transfer. So, I mean, look, we look, we're like the dog, the mangly dog. Just take some scraps, humans. Just throw me some crumbs, bro. I mean,
he is better than what they have.
We are sad, man. We suck. I mean, I don't know what other way to do it. And there's not one damn team on that in that athletic department, men or women, that would roll this back after what they've done the last 3 years under McMahon. And you know what he's saying? He's a great guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. Well, hell, Mother Teresa's nice. She ain't coaching my basketball team. I mean, damn. So, shoot, man. Oh boy, but what you think Beard should turn down A&M because, man, he would have had more resources there. But
Chris Beard is capable of getting in a much better job than that.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
I know Texas A&M's not, but the Aggies, it's a weird culture. I've never been a big fan of all that, some of that nonsense down there. But Texas A&M doesn't have a lot of tradition in the basketball program, and Buzz Williams did a nice job of making A&M somewhat of a contender. But Chris Beard can get one of the best jobs. Like I said 100 times, Indiana was idiotic. They had too many woke people in the athletic department or in the school in general to hire Chris Beard. He could have turned Indiana into a top 5 program overnight, top 10, top 5, top 10, whatever. Chris Beard can get a job. The more time passes between him and that trouble he got into at Texas, I think the better job he's going to be able to get. And he's done a really nice job at Ole Miss. They gave him a second chance. I think sometimes you got to show a little bit of loyalty. Somebody gives you a second chance. I know Sean Miller bolted Xavier for Texas' first chance he got, but Texas is a great job. You have all sorts of resources. I think Texas is a much better job than A&M is. And Chris Beard's going to be able to get, a pretty big job. There's going to be a bunch of offers for him next year after that, whatever. So I think he's smart to stick around Ole Miss, keep building what he's doing, and then take a better job than Texas A&M.
I'd say next year. I mean, I would be surprised because there is look, Ole Miss, this whole Ole Miss thing, man, the Runts are finally their booster base is more committed in football and basketball than ever. Okay. But it still has a ceiling. I mean, everything about it. It's just a lower half resource program in the SEC. But it's just there's a ceiling there. But I don't know. Man, I'm still trying to figure out how they lost to Michigan State. They were in control. They looked good. They were playing good. I thought they let one get away there.
Well, I mean, how they lost the game was pretty obvious. I'm with you. I was on Ole Miss in that game, too. Fortunately, had 3.5 and 4. Bet it twice because when it went to 4, this is crazy. Ole Miss should beat Michigan State, and they should have. And then what happened? It's a tie game. Michigan State goes down. I can't remember. It might have been Holloman, whatever guard, drives in the lane, throws up a crap shot, a slop shot that banked in, and Michigan State takes a 2-point lead. On the other end of the floor, Ole Miss missed a 2-footer, and Michigan State grabbed the rebound, and that's how they get control late in that game. That's sometimes how games like that are decided when teams are that even. Michigan State hits a lucky shot. Ole Miss misses one it should have made, and boom, there you are. You play in the free throw, 3-point game at the end, and it's disappointing because Ole Miss controlled about 90% of that game and then blew it. But hey, that's the tournament. That's why I say, the best team doesn't always win the NCAA tournament. This year, that's probably going to be true, but in a lot of years, the best team didn't win. It's not like an NBA playoff series, best of 5 or best of 7. You can be a little bit off and lose a game, and Ole Miss controlled most of the way and then missed a couple shots he should have made at the end. And
Well,
Chris Beard's going home, but I mean, he's done a great job with that program. He's going to get a big time job. I even thought that he should have passed on the Maryland job. There was talk out there with Beard to Maryland, Beard to Texas A&M. I said, no. Chris Beard's too good for that. Stay at Ole Miss for another year and then get a better job next year.
well, the Runts have a history of this, Charlie, at Ole Miss, and Michigan State's kind of got a history of being clutch under Izzo too. So, I mean, but what you got, Charlie?
I'm just wondering how much this. We don't have a dollar figure per year yet, but he was making $5 million a year last year, and this is a 6-year deal. We do know that. We'll probably have the rest of these contract details before the weekend. How much more can somebody offer him? This went from $5 million to something north of that. Okay. Is somebody really willing to give Chris Beard $9 or $10 million a year to move? I mean, he's a great coach. I got no problem with that, but
probably not double it, Charlie.
This is a bunch. I mean, it's more than $5 million. He made $5 million last year.
So probably somebody was offering $7 million.
Ole Miss came back and got to, I would say probably 7 is a good guess.
But we can't totally put a finger on it. Is it the goofy, the male cheerleaders, all this stuff, the yell practice, whatever's goofy is happening in College Station, but they are underachieving. I mean, in the era where money wins, they got more, they're spending more money than anybody. And they just can't get out of their history.
And if they're doing that, and you've now lost 2 coaches that you wanted to keep since you hired a new athletic director, I'm just saying.
Trev Alberts.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Trev Alberts is got a little bit of a poor track record in coexisting with his coaches. There's no doubt about that. Matt, I'll be out of town next week, but you got a Masters pick I can get down before I get out on vacation?
You know what? I've been looking for long shots early, and I've got a couple. I played Justin Rose at 125-1. Just looking for guys who have really positive course history at Augusta. I played actually a couple nights ago Dustin Johnson at 110-1 because I was. It's embarrassing to admit this, but I was watching a live golf tournament recently, and DJ was playing really well, and I was surprised that he was playing that well because he seemed to have fallen off the map. And a few years ago, you got DJ about 20-1 at Augusta, now 110-1. So I'll take a shot with that. Joaquin Neiman, a player I really like, has got a top 5 finish at Augusta. I played him at 42-1. Jordan Spieth at 38. And then, you're going to start to talk about the top guys. I don't want to play too many long shots because Scotty and Rory are going to be there on the weekend. The way those guys are playing right now, you're going to have something on one of those 2 guys. And I think Colin Morikawa is a guy who's going to be a threat this year too. So that's kind of the group of players I'm looking at for next week.
All right.
We'll be here to talk to you next week.
Yeah.
You're not taking off, Danny?
No, I was not invited to be his +1 on his nice little tennis trip.
Going to a tennis tournament in Monte Carlo, France. I mean, it's what most people growing up in Gretna do when they get a little older.
Bucket lists.
Wow. Okay.
All right, Matty. We appreciate it, man.
Enjoy the trip.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Matt Newman's joining us over here today. So, hey, right on cue. Hey, here's the thing. You waited too late. Just get on Baltimore now. Okay. The Orioles is much better number.
Bregman 2-run dinger.
Oh, it's Bregman.
It was Bregman.
Okay.
Yep.
Left field?
Yeah. Wind's blowing out.
It was not out
15
in the
miles an hour.
the
new dimensions. This was
they
a
basically
difference.
Moved a wall in. It hit between the old wall and the new wall. Yeah.
There you go. And they needed to. I'm fine with that. So, there's a shot. Oh, just foul. Damn it, Charlie.
No, fair.
It's fair.
Oh, yeah, go Mullins. Go ahead, baby.
Wind's blowing out.
Took him a long time.
Well, there you go. You told him to get down on it, Jimmy.
I mean, there you go.
Hurry up. Yeah.
There you go. So don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest branch down the road on Burbank and Bluebonnet. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. We've got a great team of bankers at United Community Bank. Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, and my man, Prentice Wilkes. United Community Bank. Again, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service.
Come to me. Now let me hear the next
$79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80.
Is it because, remember that one day we had to add all those spots? They haven't been added yet, and that's why it repeated the first spot?
I mean, I saw what Kay said. I guess. I mean, yesterday it did the same thing.
Man, we got to get this straight. I mean,
but that's only at the end of the hour. So
I
like
mean, I don't know how else. I mean, I give you the spots and please have them scheduled. I don't know how you can make sure they're scheduled before we run them. Is that something I need to do? Because they all just say Jimmy Ott spots.
No, they say Jimmy Ott Supreme Rice, Jimmy Ott Los Reyes.
Oh, no. Well, okay. Well, we just need to make sure that match the logs once you get in there. How early can you look at the log? I mean, hey, let me get this next spot. I don't want to miss the next spot. Who is that?
Find them online at supremerice.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill.
All right,
Wesley,
Los
across from Mike
Reyes.
Anderson's.
All right.
Man, the place looks great. Lots of it.
I mean, how early can you look at it to make sure it's right? With the papers, when I'm sent you, like lunch.
I mean, when I get in the morning, I can check it then.
Okay. Please do, because it just wasn't right that first hour. You saw it repeated.
I mean, I'm following along. It was right. It played everything. It just repeated at the end. It started playing Grand Bayou again.
What did it show on the log that it was going to repeat?
Yeah, it showed.
Okay, well that needs to be corrected. Yeah.
So what would you want to play for those last spots?
You have all the sheets.
Okay.
Kate sent them to you, right? And that's why I'm reviewing them, making sure they're right, and getting back. That's why we made the additions. I don't.
I'm just confused that the last ones at the end of the hour.
Okay, let's talk after the show. I need to monitor the spots.
Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941, just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, more cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
The Hunt Palmer Show, weekday afternoons at 1 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walkons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
You can always get the show on demand. LouisianaSports.net, 104.5 ESPN.com. O's answer Bregman's homer with a solo shot 2-1. Red Sox at the end of one. Rockies and Phillies are underway in Philadelphia. No score after one. I'm actually a big Ken Palm guy, right? I mean, everybody's a big Ken Palm guy. Everybody's a big Ken Palm guy. Anything to the idea that this could be one of the best Final Fours ever because of the Ken Palm ratings? I mean, not that we need this to justify it, but historically, these are 4 of the top 10 Ken Palm rated teams. I mean, we're talking about all-time Ken Palm ratings. We're going back into the late 90s here, and these 4 teams are all in the top 10 in Ken Palm ratings. Anything to the idea that we could see some of the most hellaciously competitive high-level basketball that we've seen? You put anything into that?
I think you. Yeah, I mean, I think there's. We thought that Alabama might be there, but what did we talk about Alabama all year? We talked about how, their defense. They're not where they need to be, and it's just that's asking your team to shoot at a really high level. Then they're capable of beating anybody, but it's probably going to catch up with them when you have to shoot at such a high level when you're giving up so many easy buckets on that end. Tennessee was a team that was, maybe can they beat you? Yes, but they go through scoring droughts. They always have, and so we have to get into it. The point guard is, he's a much weaker player than most people make him out to be. Depending on him, it's just so inconsistent with his decisions. So Duke we didn't know because Duke's caliber of competition was weak. We didn't know. Well, UNLV's had great teams and they've blown out everybody in a tournament playing in a weak conference. It's hard, but they've carried it through. Now, how many? They have the most players, but their youth usually hurts you. But you got a guy like Flagg, you got a good coach like Shire. That's kind of neutralizing that youth. But these teams are at very high level. And then Auburn's won more quad one games than anybody since we started doing this. And in Florida, might have the most complete team. So there's been a drop off from them, and you got the best teams in it. But I want to compare this to, I think there were more NBA players, more guys drafted in the first round in that previous all 1 seed Final Four that we had, with Memphis, UCLA, North Carolina, and Kansas.
Okay, glad you brought that one up. Okay, Ken Palm goes back to 97, by the way. All right, all 4 of these teams are top 10 Ken Palm all-time teams. So that's 4. I'm going to give you the other 6. One of them is that Kansas team from 08, the team that beat Memphis. One of them is last year's UConn team. One of them is the Gonzaga team that got to the Final Four and lost to Baylor in the finals. Okay. One of those teams is the Kentucky team that went to the Final Four undefeated and lost to Wisconsin. And the other two teams in this top 10 are Duke's national championship teams in 1999 and 2001. We're talking about pretty select company here when you talk about the other teams that are in this top 10, and all 4 of these teams in the Final Four are in this top 10.
Well, Houston shooting. Houston is an all-timer.
And by the way, the order is Duke, Houston, Florida, Auburn, just so you know, in this top 10.
I think Duke is, and this is where I give Shire credit. Jay Williams said before the start, this is the most talented Duke team ever. And they may be, but, a lot of that youth. I thought bringing a piece like Jones from Tulane, make sure they don't get, bullied like Duke has done sometimes. And, it's just kind of it's a team. How many times we say, man, these guys are more talented. The talent of the individual parts is not, is greater than the overall team. A lot of these teams play unselfish as well. I think Golden is the weakest of this crew on the bench, though, and I thought it almost got him. And Houck and Clayton bailed him out against Texas Tech. With 4 straight threes and 2 front ends missed with 1-and-1s. Bam. Everything you work for, and Golden might not be. A bad coach, a weak coach, but he's not these guys. I don't see with these other guys. And sometimes Auburn can be a little poor basketball IQ with some of when they get caught up in it. But that's part of their thing. When they get going up and down, they're at their best.
It's not his fault that he hasn't been around as long as his seasoned as Pearl and Sampson.
Right.
And Shia, I understand he hasn't been a head coach all that long. But, man, it seems like he's been on the Duke bench since 95 in one facet or another. He was a player and assistant coach. And when you're at Duke that long, even if you haven't been the head coach, a lot of that just, comes from how many big games has Shai been on the bench for with Duke one way or the other?
He looks very composed, in the big spot. I will say that. Now, how many close games have they played? We don't really see him. We haven't seen him stressed a whole lot.
Not recently, no.
And the only close games they had, they lost.
Yeah, the last 10 games of the season, their average margin was double digits or close to it.
They were beating teams by 30 regularly.
Yeah, so
regularly.
It hasn't been close. Today's show brought to you in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you, as well as your business partners and your legal team. Make sure that your retirement plans are in place. Doesn't matter what your age. It doesn't matter what your financial income is. They'll work with a plan that works for you. And I know because they worked and tailor-made a plan for our family. Been with them a long time. Philip Fontenot and his great staff, 337-981-1376. Online, it's coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA, SIPC. Kenny White with us when we come back here. Red Sox have homered again. That's our guy. That's the rookie. Campbell adds a homer, and it is 4-1 Boston. Live at lunch from Walkons 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins. Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend, sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize.
Kenny White's declining the calls.
Hey.
Kenny White's declining the calls.
Oh, he's declining calls? Okay, I'll text him.
In a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. First batch comes out at 5 p.m., weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations organizations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors, as investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Today's show also brought to you by the Thibodaux Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux. You go to the website, doitbest.com/Thibodaux Store. Cajun cooking, specialty cookware shipped right to your door right now. Not just any old Cajun cookware, but a huge selection that we were able to sample and take a look at. It took me a long time to get you moving out of the Thibodaux Store when we went down there last week, Jimmy, because no matter what you're doing, they can help you out.
Well, you can. I like to do my own lawn. All right, got that stuff, but no, the Cajun cookware is where it's the outdoor cookware is what I have. So, I mean, picked up a few gadgets for my crawfish boil and actually for some friends of mine as well. You know, different pots, rigs, burners, the strainers, the washers, like little scoop nets, the whole thing. So, I mean, everything from a roux spoon to the stainless steel spoons and ladles and all that stuff. So cast iron cookware, outdoor stoves with single, double, and triple burners. I mean, the oilless turkey fryers, jambalaya pots of all sizes. And, all of the different things that we have is, we got different sizes, different price points of all the outdoor cooking gear that you need. So, and man, so I've been in a Thibodaux store, but they tell me the Pierre Part store is I got to go. So I mean,
been there for 113 years. So
I mean, I know they kind of new on the block,
yeah.
New kid on the block. Maybe we'll see if they can make it or not. But man, I love it, and the staff over there is great. So you got to love it, man.
Big savings at the Thibodaux store right now online on both shop vacs and pressure washers as well. Go to doitbest.com/Thibodaux store.
AUX.
Yeah.
No, it's
no E.
No E.
Right.
Okay, because it'll bring you to another store.
Yeah. So don't
Okay.
don't do that. We found we found that out. We did a little research on that. Sam Burns making a little bit of a move into the top 5 over at the Valero. He's back-to-back birdies. He's got one hole left to go today. He is 2 shots out of the lead right now. And
really?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Keith Mitchell is 7 under, three shots out of the lead. He is a 4 under par, going to 18 right now. Max, what's Sammy's? What kind of form is he in?
Not good.
Not good. All right.
Not
Well,
good.
so this is better then.
This
right?
is better. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, though. I mean, he just has not put 4 rounds together. His iron play has been really, really bad. Now he's back on a Bermuda sort of like surface. This is a little bit different. It's not really pure Bermuda this week in Texas. It's not really like that next week at Augusta either. But, I mean, in the South, you tend to like him a little bit more. But, Augusta's a bit more of a ryegrass that they grow. So it's not really Bermuda. I struggle to see him playing very well next week. He hasn't done traditionally great at majors, and he's just not in the best form. But hopefully he pops off soon because his iron play has been a little bit disappointing so far this season.
He had a top 30 at the Masters 2 years ago, but he's missed 2 out of 3 cuts there. His best showing in a major was at the U.S. Open last year. He had a top 10 at the U.S. Open last year. So we'll see. Maybe this is a sign. Maybe he's gonna play a little bit better. I'm trying here.
Would
man.
love to see it.
I'm trying.
There's a little elevation change at his home course up in Squire Creek.
I'll take your word for it. You missed the LSU baseball conversation at the beginning. One of the best pitching matchups of the season so far. What we got here tonight. So you get 2 potential first round picks, 2 likely first round picks going tonight. in Norman, with the wind supposed to be blowing in pretty strong from center field.
10 to 17 from center, so it's very much a pitcher-friendly park tonight, and I would expect runs to be at a premium tonight.
Two of the top pitchers from a strikeout standpoint as well. 64 strikeouts for Kyson Witherspoon in 39 innings, and right at that number, 61 in 38 innings for Cade Anderson, coming off of his shakiest start of the season. We talked about this a little bit on the podcast. I don't think going from 7 days to 6 days is a big deal as far as rest, but it does force you to change your routine a little bit. It's the first time that Anderson had to change his routine back on the full 7 days from Thursday to Thursday this time. Two of the most, I would say, dominant back ends of the bullpen for one guy. Oklahoma's got the league leader in saves in Dylan Crooks, in Kason Evans and Zach Cowan. LSU's got two of the best relievers in all of the Southeastern Conference. I'd say three of probably the top six arms in the SEC coming out of the bullpen. Now the middle relief for both teams has been shaky, but the back end of these bullpens has been really, really good.
Yeah, there's not that many comparisons to this, Charlie, but you might remember this game back in 2022 when LSU, early in the season, this was a non-conference game, then LSU played Oklahoma in Minute Maid.
They got no hit.
Yeah, not Minute Maid, not the one I'm thinking of. That was one for sure. I'm thinking of 2022. It was Blake Money at this point. It was your Friday night starter.
Oh, okay.
Went up against Jake Bennett, a very good left-handed pitcher.
That was the one where Thompson hit the home run at the end.
He did. It went to extra innings.
Yeah,
That was a very good low
I got my years mixed up. I was at both of those games. I thought you were talking about the one where they got no hit on Sunday.
That's another one, though. I mean, we've seen some good pitching matchups between LSU and Oklahoma, even before, Oklahoma was in the SEC.
Well, the best one was arguably the best game that's been played at the new box, certainly in the conversation, the 2013 Super Regional, when Aaron Nola and Jonathan Gray, who both been in the big leagues now a long time, faced off in that 2-0 game. And it was a best of three series, but everybody was looking at it like, man, whoever wins this game, game one. And Nola might have been the best game Nola pitched at LSU. And that's a mouthful because he was a two-time SEC Pitcher of the Year. But there was, I forget, it was the fifth or the sixth inning. It was a scoreless game, and Oklahoma gets a runner to third base with one out. And look, a sacrifice fly at that point might have been the difference. You felt like one run felt like 8 runs. And Nola reared back and got a strikeout, and I think it was a fly ball to end the inning. But Nola was one of those guys where every time he needed to bear down, he was a hard thrower, but he wasn't the hardest thrower that they've ever had. He reached back and got a little something extra, got a little giddy up on that fastball because he needed a strikeout. And then the other thing that was scary in that game was that collision between Ray Frimes and I believe it was Bregman, but it might have been Jacoby Jones. And it was a really scary collision. We were worried about it. It ended up being okay. But Gray was terrific in that game. Jones hit a triple off of him that kind of opened it up. LSU ended up winning that game 2-0. That, I think, for the games I've watched, that's probably the best one I've seen at the new box.
Stakes aren't nearly as high, but is it the same in that the winner of tonight's game probably is going to win the series? I mean, that always is the case, but, what does the rest of the series look like here?
I actually like LSU starting pitching a little bit better after you get past this. I thought Ianson was better last week. I thought the pitching line looked a little worse than he actually pitched. He had a rough second. It was after LSU batted for about 30 minutes in the bottom of the first. They scored 8 runs. And so he went back out there. He looked a little stiff to me, and they touched him up for 4 runs. After that, he settled back in, and he was good until he took the ball off of his face in the fourth inning. Witherspoon's younger brother is he's been a Sunday pitcher for Oklahoma the last couple of weeks. He is not nearly as good as his brother. His ERA is well over 5. I actually give LSU the advantage in these. Tonight, I told Jimmy this at the beginning of the show. I'm surprised. Well, I say I'm surprised. Oklahoma, by the numbers, should probably be a small favorite in this game tonight. They are not. LSU is because of the brand and the reputation. But by the numbers, Oklahoma should probably be a small favorite tonight. I'm not sure LSU shouldn't be in the next 2 games a favorite based on the pitching matchups that you have. But a lot of that also goes to when you talk about LSU, we're going to do this the rest of the year. Okay. What do you have to use from Evans and Cowan on game one? Because if you can somehow get through a game one and not either have to use Cowan a little bit because he can bounce back and pitch again, or you don't have to use him at all, well, now you're locked and loaded. Anderson, I think if you get him into the sixth inning, you're doing good. I don't expect them to be able to get through the game tonight without using those guys. But I think the odds shift in LSU's favor after the first game.
We see this in the playoffs, Major League Baseball, College World Series. When your starter's used up, you get to use them maybe in relief and high leverage situations. That is so helpful. So as long as LSU's starting rotation can stay healthy, I absolutely think. I mean, Cal and Evans, just keep them there. Put them in whenever they're most needed.
They're winning games for LSU right now.
Yeah.
These are high leverage situations for sure. And I think that the series shifts in LSU's favor. I think tonight's a dead toss-up. The only reason I think Oklahoma should be a slight favorite is they're at home. But the series, I think, shifts because Oklahoma's got a good offense. It's not lighting the world. It's not bad. LSU's got an elite offense. And I expect that they will be able to hit Oklahoma in the second two games of this series. So we'll see tonight, 6:00 at what's the name of that field? I don't even know the name.
Dale Mitchell.
Yeah, Dale
I've
Mitchell.
been doing a lot of research.
L. Dale Mitchell Park.
Yeah.
I didn't. I got to get my benefactors in place here. So that is tonight. Here, Walk-Ons, the original Burbank at Nicholson. So when you're coming out for LSU home games, stop by before and after all LSU home games here at Walk-Ons.
Forget our friends over at Total Maintenance as well. 480-1000. Again, Total Maintenance. Now is the time. I'm getting mine done today. Got Total Maintenance coming over today. Make sure that my AC unit is going to get cleaned. Take care of it. I'm not letting it break down in the middle of summer when we start stressing these things a lot more. So it's going to lower the monthly bills, going to extend the lifetime of your unit, going to alert you if there's a part about to fail when we really work these things harder in the hot summer months here in South Louisiana. And it's at a wonderful price. Normally $179. It's just $79. Our one-time AC check, just $79. If you mention we're live at lunch, Charlie or Jimmy, it's normally $179. Just give them a call, 480-1000, 480-1000, Total Maintenance.
Live at Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation,
Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
It's rolling.
Join us for the Friday edition of Live at Lunch from Rufino's on Highland Road. Troy Macker from Bet Rivers will be with us along with Bruce Marshall as we get ready for the Final Four and we take a look back at LSU's Game 1 series against Oklahoma. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Friday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Home bank for a limited time. I'm sending you go ahead. I'm going to text you because it's the same delete for Monday, hour 2. We got to delete Roto-Rooter and add home bank and Louis. I'll text it to you right now. Go ahead and pay it.
Location and speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Rufino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Rufino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit rufinosrestaurant.com. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Sometimes it's so hard to find someone to do home repair, odd jobs due to storm damage, or just regular wear and tear over time to your home. Do like I did and call Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition. Roofing, flooring, debris removal, electric, sheetrock, painting, and much more. Pretty much whatever home maintenance you need, Clean Sweep can handle it. Call Pat Green at 300-7064 for a free no-obligation estimate. Fully licensed and insured, reasonably priced, and for over 20 years in the greater Baton Rouge area. Clean Sweep Restoration and Demolition, 300-7064.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations.
Not the one we get ready to take.
No. I'm talking about the one after.
Okay.
that leads up to Hunt Show.
I was thrown off. Okay.
For local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored and cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown next to Jolie Pearl. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Former LSU quarterback, former Auburn quarterback, former Texas State quarterback, former Western Kentucky quarterback, current Tulane quarterback, TJ Finley, suspended by the team after an arrest yesterday. Illegal possession of stolen things worth more than $25,000. So Tulane has suspended him. Listen, I don't get into the minor, the police blot or whatever. I was watching this transfer story the other day, and it was about I don't even remember who the kid's name was, but it was his 6th year, and it was his 4th school. Like I said, I don't even remember who it was. Doesn't matter, because this is so common now. I understand wanting to be able to transfer, but 5 schools in 6 years. First of all, why are you playing 6 years? I mean, we're past the COVID stuff now. Okay, we're COVID. That's 5 years in the rearview mirror. I'm talking about for next season, for the 25 or 25-26 season.
Because he wants to play.
Yeah, I get it. But are we comfortable with a system? I don't want to jump on the soapbox and everything, but I was reading.
There's a lot of things screwed up with this.
5 schools in 6 years. I mean, is that
good
for anybody?
You want to try and limit the transfer?
I do. I realize I don't have a legal leg to stand on, and I think you ought to be able to go to school wherever you want to go. But should you really be able to play for 5 teams in 6 years? Is that good for anybody? I mean, is it good for the kid? Is it good for the schools?
Limited to 2 transfers, 3 total schools, something. No, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I mean, but you,
like I said, I don't have a legal leg to stand on.
I've heard some people say you can limit to 1. That's not happening.
No,
that's not happening. And
or the second. How about the rule as it was originally written? I'm talking about the new rule, which was you get 1 free transfer where you can go and not sit out a year. The second time you transfer, we go back to the old rule. You got to transfer. Look, 1 time, or if the coach leaves, I'll make a waiver for that. But it seems like the waivers are automatic now. You can just go. You can transfer as many times as you want with no penalty. And I don't think that's good. I don't think you're teaching kids the right stuff. I don't think it's good for the schools. I don't think it's good for the sport. And look, LSU's benefited from this in a couple of cases, but I'm sorry.
Well, there's some.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I mean, no, it's not good for anybody when it's just. But there are certain cases where Kid didn't get recruited. They missed on him. He's better than everybody thought. He had to go here and get it.
Sure.
And then, he might go from a small private school, a D2, to a mid-major to a high major. So, I mean, that is possible, and that does happen sometimes. I mean, and so you have to, afford the student athlete that. But no, it's there's a reason it's growing, because you get more to leave than you do to stay.
And that's what this is. This is straight up free agency every single year. We made a joke about this at the beginning. It's like, well, if you were really smart about this, financially savvy, you were a 5-star recruit out of high school, you would sign with a school. And then the next year you would sign with somebody else. And the next year you would sign with somebody else. And the next year you would sign with somebody else. Sounded crazy at the time.
Well, they're doing it.
They are. It's not even uncommon. I mean, it's not even for the elite, the best of the best. Since Val Kilmer died this week, we'll make you better. No, this is common now.
Charlie, I agree with you. But your favorite coach, by the way, Ben McCollum, he's on his 3rd team in 3 years.
I get it. Okay, I'm not saying that the coaches being able to move without any, your coach moves, you ought to be able to move too. I get it, but I don't think it's a good idea. Anyway, Walk-Ons, the original here, Burbank at Nicholson. Come check out the new menu items here and before and after any LSU
and
sporting
crawfish
event.
boils, on-site, off-site. Get in touch with Dustin over here at the Walk-Ons.
Tomorrow we're at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites.
Thanks,
Highland
Doug. Talk to
Coffee
you
is the
tomorrow.
original.
You need to talk to Jimmy.
Hey.
Yeah.
So what do you think we need to do to make sure these things, you understand? I mean, we're just trying to, the list that I got back to you.